Hi, my name is Shelley Jansen, and my thesis paper is on aviation fatalities and compensation payout. The purpose of this research paper is to explore the system of compensation and liability in aviation fatalities as it relates to May 1996, the plane crash of ValueJet 592. The investigation is drawing on different discipline sources including sociology, psychology, economic law, and mass media communication. There are three kinds of aviation accidents: procedural, engineered, and system. There is a need to assess safety programs targeting human error in aviation. This study presents results of the framework using human factors analysis and classification system, also known as the HFACS, and human factors intervention matrix, known as the HFIX. Human behavior plays a key role in exploring the system of compensation and liability as it relates to aviation accidents. Flying will remain safe, but there are structural limits to flight safety, and a vision of zero accident in flight travel is unrealistic. Airplane transportation is a way of moving people through the air inexpensively and at a high rate of speed. Airplane travel has evolved over the last decade. It has become a common form of travel to the people. The transportation is one that many people feel is the safest and cheapest way to get from one place to another in the shortest amount of time. In one of the research articles, it discussed airlines' purpose is to move the public through thin air cheaply and at high speed. According to Chappell and Wigman, aviation in the United States has become one of the safest modes of transportation. There are three kinds of airplane accidents: procedural, engineered, and system. The framework of this research focuses on the lessons learned of ValueJet 592. The accident took place in 1996 in Everglades Holiday Park, Florida. In the study of the crash, it offers up the possibility that society has become to rely on the flight that unless we are willing to end one's affordable airline system as we know it, we cannot stop the occasional sacrifice. System accident thinking does not demand that one accept fate without a struggle, but it serves as an important caution. The FAA showed signs of concern about the ValueJet for quite some time. The concerns centered on the airline expanded too fast. ValueJet's growth spurt went from 2 to 52 airlines over a 2.5-year lifespan. They had neither the procedures nor the people in place to maintain standards of safety. When a tragedy happens like the ValueJet 592, it becomes a catastrophe across the media due to the number of fatalities. In the tragic airplane crash of ValueJet 592, the author stated, "Families of those who died will feel the poison forever." The interdisciplinary approach is the best way to research a complex question of should the lessons of ValueJet 592 air catastrophe be held accountable to compensate families of the crash victims? There are many different perspectives to consider when understanding the complex topic of the plane crashes and compensation owed to crash victims and their families. The three relevant disciplines used to research this problem are sociology, psychology, and economics. These disciplines were chosen because they are the most directly connected to the problem, generated most relevant research, and have the most convincing theories. Most importantly, those three disciplines provide information about the problem that is vital in expanding a comprehensive understanding of it. Sociology is one of the relevant disciplines because it intercepts the world as a social reality and encompasses relationships between people in a given culture. Conflict theory is important in the research because it focuses on different outlooks of the social group may have different airline disasters. In the aftermath of ValueJet's crash, officials were concerned about the accident's effect on nature, but the swamp quickly resumed its usual life. However, the families of those who died provided less reliance. There are consequences when cost-cutting starts to jeopardize passenger safety. For example, ValueJet's cost-saving effects on low-paid flight attendants, the ramp agents, the mechanics, contributed to the fatal crash. The FAA determined that in the past 10 years, 172 accidents could have been prevented in whole or in part with the safety management system in place. The missing factors in the research include human resource management, communication studies, and the data collection of the ones that contribute to aviation fatalities. The human resource management, known as the HRM, is responsible for training staff on the procedures and policies. Communication studies is responsible in translating information from supervisor to employee or media to the public. Data collection is critical in ways of gathering information in a variety of sources to get a complete and accurate picture of the causes related to aviation fatalities. The general common ground found between the three relevant disciplines of sociology, psychology, and economics is the human behavior. This is because human behavior is a key component in the most traumatic events. Airplane disasters can leave society in the sense of shock and misbelief. Human behavior, such as bad mood and anxiety, can impact the economic world in ways of weakening the stock market. The doubtful inventors in regards to future stocks will take less risks in the stock market. Human behavior plays a vital role in many events. An aviation disaster is one event that human behavior impacts significantly across many different disciplines. There are a number of important conclusions that arise from the research topic. Society's social function looks to protect life and health of citizens. The impact of catastrophes depends on the magnitude of the accident. When aviation disasters occur, society immediately looks for the explanation of why it happened. People are trying to find meaning of something that does not make sense to them. Studies have shown that the impact of the disaster is not always portrayed as being negative. Victims of a disaster can benefit it in ways of coming together as a group or to provide sympathetic and support to one another. New generations of researchers are moving away from the sociological point of view on community resistance of an economical perspective. There are three types of errors identified that are associated with the HFACS: decision, skill-based, and procedural. There are also two types of violations: routine and explanation, that are described in HFACS. Errors are ones that are considered as honest mistakes. As it is best stated as a researcher that human errors are also mosquitoes. They can be swatted one by one, but they still keep coming. The best remedies are to create more effective defenses and to drain a view of the swamps in which they breed. Where the HFACS framework provides a view of the swamp, HFIX makes certain that we are draining the right swamp in the most efficient and thorough manner. What this means is one that understands the underlying cause that leads up to a disaster and where the gaps are in the current safety program in order to eliminate aviation accidents. In the end, ValueJet fatal crash was identified as a system accident. The airplane crash was due to dangerous oxygen considered and were loaded on the aircraft. The decision was not to check labels when loading was cargo provided to be a fatal mistake in the aircrew members and passengers. There were lives lost due to human errors. Flying will remain safe, but to think airlines will get zero accident is very unrealistic. As air travel expands, it can be assumed that unpredictable accidents will continue to grow. The crash of ValueJet caused most families of those who died to feel the pain forever. The Air Travelers Protection Act is the place to help victims of airplane disasters like ValueJet 592 to assure prompt award to families of victims on the one-fault basis, and to protect the airlines and manufacturers from financial disaster. Flying will remain safe, and for conventional reasons, including an admirable reaction we have seen to the ValueJet 592 crash.